Oh, I'm putting this at the front of the video. I forgot to tell you guys, I uploaded another lesson to the Picoscope lessons, the Picoscope math channel. This is a basic math channel lesson that's going to give you a little bit of an overview and a couple examples. I have some files you guys can download from the membership site if you're a core premium member, so you guys can check that out. Let's get started. What's up, everybody? Brian Mann here, Hands-On Auto Training. This is the end of the day. Had a look, January 25th, 2022. Guys, we're going to start out the end of the day here. This is a 2015 Chevy Silverado I'm working on. We've got a replacement airbag module, I believe. I'm going to start out with a complete vehicle DTC scan and see what goes on, and I'll take you along for the process of programming this airbag control module. So we're using GDS2. Just so you know, I do have my battery maintainer hooked up there on the floor, maintaining that. We do not have a seat control version. It's always 50 questions with GM, right? So as this gets started here, we can see we do have codes in the engine control module. Waiting for these to refresh. We'll get a complete list of what's going on. I'm going to hit my create report button up here. And I will hit my print button. I'm going to print this for my customer, so we got a pre-scan report. Always do that, guys. All right, so back to our job here. Let's get a look at their details. And you can see we got an engine control module with the EVAP code. Not so worried about that. We got a sensing inflatable restraint module, steering wheel, bag deployment stage 2 open, passenger airbag 2 open, all these current codes, left impact sensor, high voltage. Really with General Motors products, the first thing you gotta do is program the module, and then you have to enable the deployment loops. That's the process we're going to go ahead and do there. So I'm going to show you that. We're going to hit the back button here, and we're going to hit up our SPS2 function. And we'll just go and program this airbag control module, and then through SPS or GDS, we can do the setup function after it's programmed. So I'll go ahead and show you what's going on there. So we're going to go ahead and click on Replace and Program, and Next. And we're going to select our inflatable restraint sensing and diagnostic module. I don't see there's a programming and setup function here, so it's going to be both in one, I suppose. It might do one and then force us to do the other, which I'm fine with. This has a new airbag module, new, what do you call it? Airbags and all that stuff from what I hear. Hopefully the pretensioners aren't blown. We'll see if they did a good job. So how is everybody doing there in YouTube land? I hope everybody's having a good day. I've been pretty busy today with a couple things. We're going to go over that other stuff. All right, so here's our calibration IDs, and I'm going to hit the next button here. And you can see we do have unrecognized calibrations right here, so that's always something that we got to take a look at. So we're going to hit the start button. And let's check this out. We do have a list of our programming events. We got our, this is the actual programming, and then I believe this is going to be the sensing. Well, actually, I'm not sure how this is going, to be honest with you. It's a little bit different from what I usually see, but we're going to see what happens. I'm expecting a pretty quick program. Guys, the job that I did before this one today was a 2000 Buick LeSabre. And this 2000 Buick LeSabre had a replacement engine control module. I thought it was a remanufactured module, but it was not. When I ID'd the vehicle, it prompted me to enter in the VIN number, so I did. When I entered in the VIN number, it took it. I did the programming, the calibration was successful. However, the security wouldn't learn. I tried the security function multiple times. I tried the manual security learn along with SPS security learn. Turns out the replacement engine control module they sent us was from a 1999 Buick Regal. If you look up a diagram, the 2000 Century, or should I say 2000 LeSabre, has a passkey 3 system, and the 1999 Buick Regal has a passkey 2 system, which is actually the keyed and seed, or the little resistor in the key, the pellet in the key, and this one's a transponder. So I think that's what's going on. All right, so our programming went pretty quick there. Turn ignition on, which I believe it's on. I'm going to make sure nothing turned off here. Yep, we're still on. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the OK button. Now here it's going to do the primary key. Because you see, there's our step-by-step. It's doing each step of it at a time. They aren't giving us a lot of details about what's going on there, but that's what's happening. So it's going to learn the primary key in the BCM or set it in the BCM. I'll be honest with you, I don't know which way it goes. It says it's not required. We're going to hit OK. And then it's going to go ahead, tell us to ignition switch off and then back on. Let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully I left myself enough room to open the door and get in here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And then back on. And this is going to be where it enables the deployment loop. So we'll hit OK. So it's enabling those loops. So like the SDM gets programmed with the proper software of what the vehicle's supposed to have, and then it goes through and enables all the loops one at a time. I think that's like turning it on inside a module. The best I can understand. That might be not the proper way of explaining it, but that's how I've come to understand it. So it says procedures complete, perfect. And place the vehicle on flat and level surface, remove all weight. We're about as flat and level as we're going to get. Next, next. So it's doing the yaw rate sensor learn because that's built into the SDM, but other modules on a vehicle, such as your ABS or traction control, stability control, will use that yaw rate sensor as well. So also today we did a TCM, transmission control module, in a 2011 Chevy Express. This was straightforward, no problem. We also verified the PCM was up to date with the latest calibrations, reset the transmission adapts, and reset the transmission fluid life, and that was all good. All right, so this says we're successfully completed here. We got to press finish. All right, so we pass. If you have a open in one of your deployment loops, this will actually fail, and I don't believe it'll go to the next step. You'll actually have a problem. I've had that happen many times at many shops where I have to make 2 trips out to finish a job and charge them more, and they don't like that too much, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. So we're going to hit OK. And we're going to go ahead and take a picture of this. Always save this type of documentation for your customer. All right, so I'm going to hit clear DTC so we clear everything out. Now the job that I started the day with was a 2021 Jeep, I think it's called a Red Hawk Cherokee or Cherokee Trail Boss Hawk or something. It was a supercharged beast of a motor. Check this thing out. It was a large motor. Anyhow, this thing only has 9,000 miles on it, and it was tuned. Somebody had tuned it and did all kinds of aftermarket parts, but then they blew up the transfer case friction clutch or whatever that enables the power to the rear wheels or something like that. I'm not 100% sure what went wrong, but they wanted to take it back to the dealer under warranty, but the dealer would not touch it because they said it was tuned. Now, I went ahead and actually I didn't do anything as far as diagnosing on this. The customer had got a new computer from the dealer and asked me to come out and program it. So I went out and did a standard procedure. I did look up the service information on how to do this job properly, make sure we're not missing any steps. Straightforward program. There's only one calibration to choose from on this. However, I gotta tell you, look at here, after I was all done, we got stuck with a P1400. Now it turns out this may be a normal code in this higher end performance platform. I can't get rid of the code, and my customer didn't want to spend any more money at that point, so I didn't worry about it anymore. But that's what had happened there. It was a pretty straightforward job, just got this code. I don't know if by chance they went to the dealer and because this vehicle was tagged as having aftermarket performance stuff on it, that they could possibly load it into a calibration or something on the configuration on the dealer end. I really don't know. But I did all the steps in SI and I feel we're all good to go. So guys, that was it for that one. All right, so our codes have been successfully cleared. And let's take a look at where we're at here. We're gonna head back to our SPS, or should I say our GDS2, my fault. Bad wording, got it wrong. So we're gonna go ahead and do a complete vehicle DTC scan here. Vehicle diagnostics, vehicle, oh, I hit the wrong button. I did not want that. This takes a while. If it gives me the option to cancel, I'm gonna back out of this. I slid my mouse down further than I wanted to. I wanted to be on vehicle DTC, not vehicle DTC and ID information, because it takes longer to do, as you see here. Hit the wrong button. Sorry for the language in the background. Hopefully my mic ain't picking it up here. I'm gonna hit back, hit the back button, and we want it to be vehicle DTC information. This takes forever, so we're gonna go ahead and hit this. This should be a little bit quicker if everything goes my way. Or not. Oh, there it goes. So I'm expecting that code in the engine control module to be gone because we did clear out all the codes. Well, maybe it didn't. That's good. I'm actually glad that stayed for them. But let's see, we got our inflatable restraint and diagnostic module. Let's go ahead and hit create report. And I'm going to print this real quick for my post scan. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look back here and make sure there's no codes. And I'm gonna go ahead and we got a code in the human interface control module. Let's hit our details so we can see. Human interface control module, internal malfunction, electronic control unit hardware. So that sounds like a pretty bad problem, but the beautiful thing about doing a pre-scan is even if you don't take the time to look at all the codes it's set, you can go back and see what was going on. So I want to make sure that that human interface control module, yep, it did have a code, internal ECU malfunction. So that is in our pre-scan. So I'm not worried about that. That is why we have to document everything that we do. So we're all good. I'm going to go ahead and cycle the ignition key. And we're going to turn this on and off. Start it. We'll make sure no codes, no lights are on the dash. Make sure we're all good here. This thing does have 77,000 miles on it. Lights are looking good. I'm going to go ahead back and take a look at the DTCs. You guys have a great day. Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. We'll see you around.